Dexter, first of all, how is the chamber handling what over the past few days seems to have become a PR nightmare?
Well, the first thing is that it appears from the outside that we would have lots of members and other people complaining, and actually, for the most part, it's the reverse. Most of our businesses have asked us to be the voice of business, and in years past, you haven't heard us weigh in on issues that are this important to the city. We're doing that now, and so our businesses and members have congratulated us for standing up for them because they can't always go where we can.
How difficult has this been, given the fact that you have had some named businesses, like Lenny's, for instance, that have pulled out of the chamber? Granted, they were only in for a couple of months before pulling out, but can you give me a number? How many businesses have pulled out because of this issue?
Well, we have a very small number of businesses. We don't give specific information, but let me just say that it's less than a handful of businesses that have indicated that they wanted to terminate their membership. You know, really what it boils down to is businesses are not accustomed to being threatened. They're out there trying to make food, provide services to the public safety officers as well as other members of the community, and it's alarming to them to have someone threatening them. And these are just small business people that are trying to make a living, and they actually are the ones that are paying the taxes that pay for the public service employees.
Dexter, when you hear someone like Tommy Malone from the Memphis Firefighters Union say last week on this very program that he will do whatever it takes, if necessary, to take down the Chamber of Commerce, how disconcerting is that?
Well, listen, we have great respect for our officers, and I've worked for many years with both the police and fire, and they're public servants that should certainly be properly compensated, and it is disappointing because what it means is in this country that you can't have a difference of opinion about an issue. When we went down to the City Council a couple of weeks ago and expressed our view, they did the same thing. The City Council members voted. There was not one other alternative put on the table. The unions didn't propose anything. There was not one other alternative from the council members, and so we were faced with either a huge tax increase or making adjustments to the benefits.
And Dexter, if I could ask you a two-part question just to kind of sum up here. First of all, why is the Chamber really even coming down on the side of the administration? Why get involved in the budget process? And part two, many people are really castigating the pilot program, saying that if we took money away from the pilot programs, there would be money there for health care insurance and for other needs of officers, firefighters, and city employees. How do you respond to both of those questions?
Well, Daryl, it's a very good question. We've been asked even by some of our members because they don't necessarily know every position we take. All of our members, 2,400 members, don't necessarily agree with every position we take. What they agree with is why we're out there bringing jobs, bringing new investment into the community and more taxpayers so we don't have to tax the ones that are currently here as much. The Chamber's involved because we cannot be the voice of business and stand back on an issue that really can affect the city's future. This is not just a city pension issue. We are literally bleeding as a city. We're losing 2,000 people a year. Over the last 7 years, we've lost, during the recession, 30-some-odd thousand jobs. We have 40,000 unemployed people and the highest poverty rate of any metropolitan area, over 1 million people. I mean, that is something that we have to deal with. You can't deal with that if we're not getting our city's fiscal house in order. And among other things, the state has mandated this. This is not something that the city chose to do just independently, and it certainly is not just a philosophical position on the part of the Chamber, because almost every business in the country has already done this. Now, in regards to the pilot program, it is greatly misunderstood. People think that we're writing a check to companies, that we're giving them cash out of our pocket. Actually, nothing could be further from the truth. When these companies come here and provide jobs for our people, they also are paying taxes immediately. We had one company, the property was paying $40,000 a year before the company came. After they came, they were paying $700,000 in year one. That's a net increase of $650,000. We need these pilots because that's what's bringing in not only jobs but new revenue.
He is Dexter Muller from the Memphis Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Muller, thanks for being here tonight.